Signs that you've made progress before doubting yourself. So, we're going to be talking about why you need to look at the bigger picture, especially when it's a lifestyle transformation over an elite one. Now, don't get me wrong, even if it is elite, there may be one week where the scale weight just changes ever so slightly. But physical adaptations have changed. So this is why we need to look at, the important stuff basically of not being totally zoned in with the scale weight. So a lot of people just measure their success by the scales and what they say, but there's so many other factors that I'm going to be talking about in this slideshow that you need to look at, and it's very important that you take it all in because there's so many small wins that we can have throughout the whole process of working together and collaborating. So through the process of working with each other, I'm going to help you see past the obsession that people have with the scale weight and look at progression in other forms. So I'm not saying this is important because we are, if we are on a fat loss journey or in a calorie deficit, we do want to and we should see the scale weight come down, but one week it may not change, but physical adaptations, like I said earlier, are happening. Now, I'm not expecting 2 kilos, 1 kilo, every single week. As long as we are tracking the data and making sure that we're looking at all these other factors, then that's how we're going to get the best transformation physically, mentally, your mood, your energy, the full works. So if we look at the first one, which is how your clothes fit. So this is like a big win. So are your jeans not as tight? That top that you haven't worn in months or years fits perfectly now or slightly better. Are you wearing clothes that are not as tight or as baggy? So if you're on a bulking phase, are your tops fitting a lot better? But if you're on a calorie deficit and a fat loss phase, are your clothes getting that a little bit looser? So that's like another factor to look at. So for me, this is a big one. And I've spoken with loads of clients and I see them start to wear tighter fitting leggings, shorts, t-shirts, shirts for the gym and outside of the gym. And that's a big win. So that's something that I want you to remember. So the second one is measurements. With the measurements you'll be doing for check-ins, now you can do them or you don't have to do them. But if we're tracking that data, can we see the numbers reducing over time or can we see the numbers increasing if it's, we're wanting to grow our biceps, chest, glutes, etc. So that's another big one, measurements. Now, one thing that I always look at is new habits. Now, if you change your habits, healthy habits, walking, sleeping, hydration, the full shebang. Are your habits slowly or totally changing? So are you going to bed early to wake up earlier? That's one. Instead of having 8 cups of coffee a day, you now have 2. Do you release stress in the gym compared to letting it affect your work life, your family life, or even your workout? So these are all small habits that have a massive effect on how your daily life will be. So that's number 3. Number 4 is signs that you're getting fitter and stronger. So for me personally, when we start to see the numbers increase, if it's reps, if it's the weights that you're lifting, if you're doing your cardio circuits, your strength and conditioning, and we do that workout 1 week and then 6 weeks later we do the same workout and we see that you've done it in a quicker time, you feel better. Number 4 is so big. The stronger you get, the better life becomes as well. So number 5 is your mood and your energy. So have you noticed a difference in your mood and energy levels since following the plan, the program, or since working together? Do you think more positively rather than negatively about yourself? A lot of people are very negative, and the more you think like that, the receptors in your brain start to develop more negative outcomes and you think negatively about yourself, where generally if we think more positive things will happen in your life. So number 5 is a big one. Number 6 is thinking clearer and more focused. So do you feel more focused at work and your productivity levels are at an all-time high? You think more clearer in the office or at home and you're more present with family, friends, And again, another sign that you are winning instead of just looking at the scale weight. So 7, someone commenting on your physique and appearance. Now, when you receive a comment like this from someone, if it's a friend, a stranger in the gym, a work colleague, that can pick you up like no tomorrow. And you know, it's delayed gratification. You can do weeks and weeks of work, but when that, just say, for example, the 7th week, you hear a comment like that, it is unbelievable to actually receive that and go, right, my hard work is paying off now. So number 7's a big one. I want you to think about that. And then number 8 is nutrition. So are you now fueling yourself up with whole meal foods, so protein, veg, and fruit? Has your digestion improved? Do you now look at food in a totally different way? Are you thinking more about meals you're having, and you start to meal prep and you feel more organized? So this, once again, is a big win and improvement overall. Finally, we do track the scale weight. Now, obviously, depending on where you start, for example, so if you are 130 kilos and we're in a fat loss phase, we want to see the scale weight come down, obviously. But you've got to always remember that there are other signs you are progressing, even if the scales stall for a week or two. So science doesn't lie, I'm going to be honest, and you can't be around the bush if you don't progress in months and the scale weight hasn't changed. There's always a solution. And if you're stuck or have any questions, please drop me a message. But this slideshow and presentation, should I say, is here to help you actually look beyond the scales and think, right, this journey, if I look at all these small wins that I've had, then yes, I can see that I am progressing, even if the scale weight hasn't changed in a week. Look, work harder and harder every week, and the effort that you put in will come through in your results. So any questions, let me know, but I hope you've enjoyed this slide.